If you'd like sponsors of that game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 541. Still Got Game is the official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
And Chirps.
Oh, we're falling
nope.
apart. He's not here.
Yep, Shadow, Mr. Dependable, is out with the COVID tonight. So it's just me and Selden.
Yeah, a little post-COVID, I think. I think he's over the COVID. It's just he's in rough shape, I think. So
yeah. If you don't test, you don't get. That's what I've heard. So.
Is that it? I didn't break my leg. I never went to the doctor, so I can't confirm I did not break my leg.
Exactly. But we are back this week for a show. I'm sure it'll be a short one with just the two of us. But if you're here, you're joining us live, you want us to talk about something, drop it in chat. Otherwise, as always, we'll start off with the mailbag for feedback and questions from our last episode. And remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Popular commenter Selden 007 fan comments, I will not be silenced. Well, at least until you silence me. Seriously, though, Selden 007 is pretty funny.
Dude, now, I love you, Selden 007 fan. I love you.
I still question whether this is you, Selden.
If this was me, I would have a capital S because I'm that important. If it's coming in as Selden with a lowercase s, it's just a fan that likes me. I gotta like him.
All right, fair enough. This seems sus, but just saying.
I can guarantee you, I'll swear on whatever Bible you put in front of me that is not me.
All right, then Selden has a fan.
Woohoo! That one.
Just one. Just
chip in a
one.
chair. That's all I need.
Just the one. All right. Tool X Lemonheads asks, why do you all feel the need to be nice to shitty games? Sometimes if a game is a stinker, just call it as such. I'm not sure what this is in reference to.
I think we've called out a few games that we've all pretty much considered shitty. But I mean, there's a lot of bad games that still have some merit that I'll give a little bit of credit to. But there's games that are just not good.
Yeah, we're not like Jeff Keighley's over here, where we're just saying everything is fantastic and it's the greatest thing I've ever played, and this and that. Like I feel like we do our fair share of picking on shit games.
I think I beat up on Balatro for a while before I actually played it.
You did shit on it before you knew anything about it. Yes, yeah.
But we held no bars. I mean, I liked the Duke Nukem game, but I know that you guys have there was parts of the Duke Nukem game that were good, but you guys have shit on that pretty heavily. So,
I did shit on that in my review, and I was the only one that didn't get blackballed by the marketing agency, so because I did it in a nice way. But
and remember, I play a lot of shit games that I actually enjoy, but you guys, the rest of the hosts, think they're pretty shitty.
Yeah,
they have no problem telling me how shitty the games are.
And we've never even played them. We just judge them strictly based on merit or perceived merit. So,
yes.
I think Tool X Lemonheads. I think you're in the wrong here. Just saying.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, with three hosts, you got there's a lot of different types of games out there. With three hosts, there's gonna be somebody that may like a game a little bit, that may give it some credit, but there is usually one of the hosts that, if it's a shitty game, will come out and say it's a shitty game.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like we're pretty honest about that. So, all right. Next up, Charisma Devil asks, how long do you see Destiny 2's tail being? The game has been around for quite some time, the expansions are becoming less and less popular, and Bungie has moved people onto other future programs.
I didn't realize that people were still playing Destiny 2. Is it still alive? I mean, I know one of the groups I play with still has a clan that does have a regular night still that plays some stuff, but
yeah, I think we talked a few weeks back about their final expansion drop, which seems so bizarre. It seems like so long ago that you and I played this game, so.
Yeah. I thought they had the final expansion drop a while ago, or the final raid dungeon that they were putting out a while ago. How many finals have they had? Is the question.
Man, I honestly can't see them having more, because we did talk. It was either last show or 2 shows ago about how they were moving people off of Destiny onto some unnamed product.
Yeah, that might have been 2 shows ago, because I wasn't here a couple shows ago, and maybe you and the other host guy that's not here tonight.
The COVID
What's
kid?
his name? I forget his name.
COVID kid.
He's gone.
Yes,
already.
yes, yeah. But we did talk about that. Yeah, I don't see much life left in Destiny. It was dead for me a long time ago. So
I mean, Bungie's been dead for a while for me, in my opinion, but that's just because they're no longer the Bungie that was the Bungie that we knew and loved. So
yeah,
But
oh, and then literally just now I got a pop up. Sam version 1 is playing Destiny 2. So
hey,
yeah, there's still people playing. It's and that's a Steam pop up, but yeah, that's fucked up. The timing of that couldn't have been better, really. But
yeah, people will still play it until the servers are taken offline. But the point of diminishing return, I think, is past.
I think it's well past. Yes, yeah. But great question, Charisma Devil. You're keeping Altius on his toes.
Yeah.
And speaking of Altius asks, you mentioned Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest last episode. When do you think everyone will start doing their own things? And then in parentheses, Nintendo Direct, Xbox Developer Direct, etc., instead of letting him make money off their backs?
I don't think he's making money off their backs. I think he's just making money because people keep throwing it at him. I think that they will continue to make their Nintendo Directs and Xbox Developer Directs and stuff like that. I mean,
but why not take advantage of a platform that has all these eyes on it? Whether it's his Summer Game Fest or whether it's the Game Awards or yeah.
I'm sure Microsoft and Nintendo and PlayStation they love the fact that he talks about their shit and they don't have to do it. So like they're gonna let it run. They'll do their own thing still, but let Keighley make some money too on the side. Yeah. I mean, they never had a problem with, you didn't see Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo yelling about E3, no, bad, oh. No, they loved it. Even if they didn't go to the show, Xbox always had their show to the side that they would run. So,
well, that's true. That's true.
Any advertisement is good advertisement for those guys. So,
yeah, it's not like he's shitting on games. He's Mr. Super Fan of everything. Nothing is bad to Jeff Keighley, like we just discussed. So, yeah, I don't see. I think that these guys will add these self-serving individual things like Nintendo and Microsoft have done, but I don't think that they're gonna drop out of Summer Game Fest. Like, it's just free advertising. Why would you?
Yeah.
So
and they might actually be paying him to do the shit for him. That's marketing money going right to him to advertise for him. So
that's very possible.
I'm not saying that the Game
we
Awards
do not know this.
Sony.
We do not know this. Selden he's speculating at this moment.
Speculating that maybe PlayStation buys the Game Awards so that they can keep pushing their product. I'm not saying that it's definite, but there's a hell of a high chance that he's getting a little bit of a paycheck from PlayStation somewhere along the line.
That is very possible. All right. If any have great questions or comments like this, give us a call 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@toolboy.com. And on that, why don't we hop it over what we're playing? Selden, what have you been playing this week?
Oh, you know what? I haven't been playing a lot of new stuff this week. Mostly it's been Diablo Balatro, and I stepped back into Atari 50, playing through some of the other decades that I haven't got through a chance to play. Playing some games I never played before, which was kind of cool.
Nice.
Back in the Atari 50 genre, and wonderful catalog they have, man, that is a good title. It really is. Like
it really is
if
solid.
you're looking for something, it's there most likely. And if it's not there, at least there's some kind of reference to it within that, so you can do a little bit of reading on it. But
and chances are they'll come out with a DLC that gives you what you're missing out on. So
I will tell you though that, man, we grew up playing Atari, and Atari games in the original form were fucking tough. I'm like, there is no forgiveness in those games. And playing them now with the super sensitive controllers, there is double the amount of no forgiveness on that. Because as much as like if you were playing Pong or Breakout, like you had the spin controller.
Yeah,
right?
you at least had some distance. Now when you're using the stick, it's fucked.
It's impossible. You can't play those type of games anymore on those controllers. They're just too sensitive, or they're just not the right configuration or whatever. But man, I do love going back and playing some of those games. Brings back a lot of great memories, and they are freaking tough. So
you know what I would like to see, and I'm pretty sure it's probably never going to happen, but an Activision DLC for that that would include Pitfall and River Raid.
Raid, man, I would love to play a little bit of River Raid on there.
Yeah, it's probably not in the cards, but every time I'm just like, maybe someday. Like, what does Activision have to lose? Like, people are stealing these ROMs anyway. You might as well create some content around it, give the backstory, and put it out there. That was my best Pitfall Harry swinging sound. So yes, yeah. But yeah, I'd love to see that, and I like you said, I agree. That game is fucking fantastic. If you can even call it a game, it's more like a museum that has playable artwork.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely that. And as I said, Balatro, the addiction continues on with that stupid game. Hate that I like it so much.
You just hate that I told you about it, and then you hate that I was right.
I do. I think so. It does make me as I'm playing it. If you've ever played the card game Flux, that would be another great game. I'd like to see ported over to a PC or something like that, or an Xbox, so I can play that game. Now that I'm playing Flux, so much of Balatro,
constantly changing rules.
Yeah. You start with 3 cards, but that's not what you're going to end with the game with, and the win conditions always change. Yeah, I love that game. So. And they have a lot of different versions of it too, so you could sell some DLC on that. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, I have the Pot Flux version, so yeah.
Nice. Yeah. But yep, that's me. How about you? What have you been playing?
I've done the same. I've done some Balatro. That's my I got a few minutes. And you can crank away Balatro and then just quit, and then you can continue where you left off, which is nice. And then obviously a shitload of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. There's been a bunch of events. There was some double XP weekends. Now there's a Terminator event going on. There's another event that starts on Wednesday. But I am now in Prestige 9. So getting close to that final Prestige 10 and the endless levels that will ensue. So, and I love that game. And ironically, I've only played one map. So... Yep. It's all Nuketown
map ever made.
Nuketown 24/7, and that's all I play 24/7. So yes, yeah.
Which is smaller, Nuketown or the what's the
Shipment?
No, the one that takes place in the little oil field in the middle of the desert.
Oh, I know which one you're talking. Yeah, I think Nuketown is probably bigger than that, but Shipment is probably the smallest. But Shipment has not yet come to Black Ops 6. Shipment is the one where you're just in that little rectangular shipping yard with a bunch of shipping containers, and you spawn in this one or this one or this one, and it's just a fuck fest. But Nuketown is, everybody knows the map, everybody knows the spawns, everyone knows the lanes. It's kind of a 3-lane map where you have 1 lane down one side, 1 lane down the other, and the middle lane is tough because you have to go through a vehicle in the middle to get through it. It's a great map and probably the greatest of all time, and it's all I play. So
the only complaint I have about that is that the spawns flip so fast and so often. Like you could be if you're pushing
all of a sudden everything is flipped around. Yes, yeah. Like, you have to be the only guy pushing, and then you can spawn kill everyone, and then they'll keep spawning, you can keep killing. But as soon as one of your buddies is like, I think I'll check that out too, and then all of a sudden it's like,
it's all
flip
shit.
the script, and they're behind you, and But, yeah, fucking love that game, and I'll probably play some while the show is converting after we're done recording tonight. So, yeah.
To go back to Tool X Lemonheads or whatever the fuck he wants to call himself, shitty games. I did try a game. I'll go ahead and say this. I wasn't going to talk about it, but he wants us to talk shit about shitty games. A game hit the Game Pass, I think last week or the week before, maybe, called Citizen Sleepers. And I can say, in my opinion, it was a shitty game. I didn't give it a honest try. I'm also going to say that because I can't play. I play a lot of old games and old style games, but I can't play a game that is all text-based reading anymore at this point. Like, if you have to,
you can't do a Zork anymore
on the first couple of levels where everything is fucking just reading the text on the screen. I'm like, I don't want to fucking work to play a video game. I'm like, I never got into it far enough, but it was that Citizen Sleeper game. I'm just like, you got 5 minutes of my time. That's it.
All right, Tool X Lemonhead. There you go. Selden's on your fucking side. He shit on something. So, yeah. All right. On that, why don't we hop it over to new releases? First big new release out this week is Sid Meier's Civ 7. That's Civilization 7 for those not familiar with the parlance. That's out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, the PC, Mac, and Linux. Like, when's the last time we said something came out on Linux? I can't even remember. So this is out in fucking everything. I like some Civ games in the past, but it's not my style of game. So I'm probably not picking this up, but I know that there's going to be a shitload of people that pick this up and they put shitloads of hours into it. I will not shit on this game. I'm sure it's going to be fucking fantastic. But it's just not my style of game.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely download this, play this. I'm going to play this at least a couple playthroughs because that's what I'm good for on it. I'll never get into these real-time strategy type of games. I can't play the online version.
Games?
Like,
yeah.
I can't play against the guys that are going to have a nuclear weapon by the time I'm making flint and steel still. So I love playing these at my own pace. And it's definitely something I'll play Civ 7 for. I'll play it at my own pace, work up, see how far I can get with a couple different leaders, stuff, civilization type things. And I'll enjoy it that way. But yeah, I don't know about you, but I can never compete with these guys. Have it down to a science on how to evolve as fast as possible. So
yeah, it's not my style of game. No. But all right. Then the other big new release out this week is Rugby 25 out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PC. I have zero fucking interest in this game.
I am gonna pass on this. I probably won't even play the free 5 hours or whatever we're gonna get on it. It's just I don't understand
the scrum,
the finer rules of rugby. I know that it's a beat 'em up football type game type thing.
It's football-ish. It's football adjacent, if you will. Yeah, I don't understand the rules either. I don't understand why there's a scrum. I don't understand why there's weird things where you can kick the ball in versus throw, and they're different points. It just wasn't worth me learning because I just have no interest.
Yes, it's rugby and cricket are those two sports that I'd love to know how to play, but I'm never going to try.
Rugby, football adjacent, cricket, baseball adjacent. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah. I'll sit there and I'll watch rugby sevens and stuff like that, because I just enjoy watching it, but I don't know the finer rules of it, and to actually pick up a video game and try to play it I think it's beyond the point where I want to try. So
fair enough. Yeah. So zero shits given. What's your name again? Tool X Lemonheads. We fucking hate this game. We didn't even try it. We both fucking hate it. All right. On that, why don't we hop on over into gaming news. First story. The ESA wants to replace E3 with a bunch of buzzwords. So what's happening now is obviously E3 is dead, but the ESA still wants to, make some money, have some E3 adjacent stuff. So what they're doing is they're creating, and I'm going to make sure I get this right. They're creating this thing called, where is it? IICON, IICON, and it's being promoted as for visionaries, change makers, and innovators. So the thoughts are this event will probably be more for the corporate side of gaming versus the showing games off kind of side. I'm all for anything that could possibly be a stepping stone on the way back to a future E3, but this is I'm not sure about this. I don't think Tiff and I are flying to LA for this one, so yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to grasp at the balloon strings that are flying away from them that they have no chance of catching. So
yeah, this is it's they want to have something that makes it so that they need to exist.
They're in the corner going, "We're still relevant."
Yes, exactly, and that's what's happening here, and I'm not sure that they are, even though I wish they were. So, yeah, it is what it is. But
it's a bygone era, unfortunately, and it had some, the press that came out of it. I never got to go to one of the events and stuff like that, but I mean, it evolved a couple times, kind of like this show did, and unfortunately, they went the wrong path. They should have followed our path. And just rebranded, they renamed themselves, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like even with PAX East this year, Tiff's like, I'm not sure that I even want to go, and I was like, oh, we'll figure it out. Yeah, but yeah, it's times are changing.
That's
for
sure.
Next story.
All right, I'm going to take this one. I know our buddy Shadow really wanted to do this one because he's heartbroken. And I think that's the real reason why he didn't make it.
Why couldn't come tonight?
Like, I think that he's just so distraught about this because he brought it up in the Discord, and he was. You could tell he was trying to get me to jump on board with him, but I had nothing to do with it. But Football Manager 25 has been canceled. Oh. Sports Interactive will focus on the next installment for the soccer simulation instead. Now, this Football Manager 25, this is the one that I think we've talked about the Football Manager before.
Where you don't even play.
You don't even play. You're the coach.
Yes. No, you're not even the coach. You're the GM.
You're the GM. So it's like, I'm not heartbroken about this. This is not a genre that I'm into. Back in the day when it was like on the TI-49, I think I played Front Page Sports.
Oh, yes,
which was basically this game. But,
or Stratomatic back in the paper days. Stratomatic football, Stratomatic basketball, Statomatic or Statomatic.
I'm not really sure what to.
Yeah, I think so. You used all the player stats, and that's how you built your team, and that's how games played out. But it was. You played it on pen and paper, and it was not remotely fun.
No, doesn't sound like it. So.
It was like Spreadsheet Simulator 2025. Yeah,
we had it rough back in the 70s and 80s as kids.
Yep. We had to do this all by pen and paper. So yeah.
But, you know what? It's at least they recognized that they weren't going to get this title out, and maybe they would better to refocus, revisit it and see what they can do for Football Manager 26. So
I think it's balls really to be like, this isn't going to be good. So why do we put it out if we can make next one the next iteration better? And unfortunately, a lot of companies don't do that. They're like, oh yeah, this is coming out, and then it gets shit reviews, and it probably the wisest decision. So.
And I mean, you got to wonder also I mean, we always say that a lot of the sports games are shovelware. Your Maddens, your MLBs, year
Roster
after year,
update
it roster
2025.
updates and maybe some tiny little graphical updates. Like, I feel that this kind of game falls into that same sport genre rut where it's just shovelware year after year with roster updates and possible, like, maybe some graphical updates, maybe a little bit of different gameplay. And, is skipping 25, maybe they were able to just roll to the production that they were doing on 25 and just roll it to 26 without
Yeah,
taking
it's
a
very
loss of
possible.
revenue.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Right.
but rest in peace. I'll tip one out for you there, Football Manager 25.
Oh, look at Selden. Such a kind guy. All right. Next story. Wonder Woman game has already cost WB Games $100 million. and it's nowhere close to releasing. Now, as someone that was an E3 aficionado and would get appointments at the WB Games booth, these guys, they would not balk at spending a lot of money on these games. Every single one that came through WB Games, especially their DC licenses, they cost quite a bit. But this is insane. They're $100 million in. When was the last fucking Wonder Woman movie? So your tie-in is growing further and further out, and you're already in for $100 million. The game's nowhere near releasing. When do you just put a game out? Like, I think the last time we saw Wonder Woman was in the Flash movie with the crazy kid, crazy person, crazy they. I'm trying to hit the right pronouns for they.
Yeah.
That did like all the Hawaii staying with someone and beat them up, and then all the overseas girlfriend stuff, and they really should have just erased them from the movie and put in the kid from the Flash TV show. That probably would have been a better thing. But that movie was like 4 years ago now, right? 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was definitely that a while ago. And Wonder Woman made I think she made like an appearance in one of the movies that came out for a second or something like that. But she's not really. I'm not going to say she's not relevant, but
it's been a while since there was something to tie into a game. Yeah,
or that she's had a standalone film or even a following. Like, I think that her career as a character crested with the
original Wonder Woman.
No, with the Wonder Twins and all the other characters.
Oh, you're going way back that far? No, I felt like the first Gal Gadot movie was great. The second one was a little creepier, where they stole the guy's body and did weird shit. The Wonder Woman 85, like,
yeah,
there were some wrong things about that movie.
Yeah, she's Gal Gadot is a phenomenal actress. Don't get me wrong, and she's easy on the eyes. But I just like those two films. They never really. I don't think they really blew up as much as
the first one really did. Like when she's and she's jumping, like, or like when she's saving all those kids by blocking all the bullets with her wristbands, and they were great flicks. Well, the first one was great. The second one, maybe not so much. When they had to figure out how to get Chris Pine back, and they're like, "Oh, it's okay. We'll just take over this other guy's body, and I'll fuck him." And you're like, "Well, that guy didn't maybe. Oh, actually, yeah, what guy didn't want to? But maybe that guy didn't want to fuck her. Like, there's some problematic shit in that movie. So, yeah." But yeah, $100 million in, and the game nowhere close to coming out. I would guess that they're probably got another $50 million to dump into this, and then to make back $150 million game that's not like a tentpole franchise is going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard get back. I mean, They're not even close, apparently.
No. So yeah, this is
Oh.
this will be fucked up. So, but we'll wait and see, and Selden will try it. He always does.
I'll try it.
Selden's
Now,
like
if they
the
made a Hall of
Mikey,
Justice, if they made a Hall of Justice game,
where you
or
just
it-
walked around the Hall of Justice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all you
but-
want.
you could switch between all the characters. You got,
Oh, now you want Xana and Jane back again. You want the Wonder Twins. Okay,
the Wonder
Selden
Twins
wants a
back.
Wonder Twins game. DC, give it to him. He'll buy it. He'll
Yeah,
buy
but-
all the copies. So,
Wonder Woman, Superman, I like all of them. Bring them all back.
yes, you bring back the original theme song.
What was the monkey? Zeke? Was that the name of the monkey? Zeke? Maybe?
Gleep,
Who knows?
Gleep,
Gleek?
Gleep,
Gleek?
Gleep. I think. Yeah.
Somebody in chat will find us.
Yeah.
Correct this for us.
All right, next story.
All right, talking about Atari 50 on the reboot scene, Atari Breakout is going to get a side-scrolling reboot. Now, this looks like it's a lot like, oh god, what the hell was that? That's that Tetris Evolved or Tetris.
Oh
Tetris
yes,
Effect
yep.
game that came out with that whole 80s neon kind of glowy thing.
Lots of flashing lights, lots of techno soundtrack,
So,
and yes,
like, this looks like it's going to be exciting. It's going to be one of those spazzy games that I will probably not be able to play at all.
but you're gonna buy it either
but
way.
I'm gonna do it anyway. So, but it looks like it's exciting. I'm always a big fan of the Breakout series from a kid. You had Breakout, then you had Super Breakout, where you had the
Yep.
2 levels of the bars and stuff
Yep.
like that. So,
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
It sounds interesting because Breakout was really just like shit at the ceiling, and then you had to get rid of all of it. But like, if you're side scrolling, it's break through this shit to keep moving on. So it's like a never ending kind of thing.
And Breakout was like the original. Like, it was like, yes, it was one of the
Well,
original.
Pong
games, but
was the original. Yes.
Well, yeah, Pong was the original, but Breakout really brought it up. And then, like, there were so many other games that spawned off of
Yeah.
Breakout based off of that formula. It was the one where you were actually shooting and stuff like that. I can't
Yeah.
remember all the games that came out, but
No, in Atari shovelware days, there was
yeah,
games that instead of bouncing a ball, you shot, or even like on Xbox, the early days, Zuma was kind of like like a Breakout offshoot.
yeah,
So
like that, and Zoids. You remember Zoids?
yeah.
The one with all the little smiley faces that you'd have to try to match the colors up and knock the chunks down. And so this, I mean, and these games usually have a kick-ass soundtrack too. These remakes, these reboots that Atari does.
Yes.
And so, like, I can just looking at some of the screenshots, I'm like looking at them, like, this game's gonna rock. I'm like, this is gonna be, it's really gonna be an exciting game, and I'm getting excited now.
Yeah, see, Selden's already pre-ordering. Yes, yeah. So, all right. Next story. GTA 6 is still hitting consoles this fall, says Take-Two boss. Promise. So, obviously, GTA 6 is going to be the next new hotness from Take-Two. There was some issues with getting the PC version and the console versions done, and what they've apparently decided is just like, fuck it, we're going to release on consoles first and eventually get to PC. Can't say that I'm sad about that. Like,
I mean, that happened with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
Also?
Yep.
Like they did the same thing where PC just wasn't there yet. So
and it took like a whole nother year. Yeah. So I think they need to get this title out there. Granted, they don't need it for the money because GTA 5 is like a mint that just prints money and people are on GTA Online and everything else. But they want that next version of this out there. And from what I've seen, I think this is going to be it's like this hot take. GTA 6 is going to be huge.
I mean, GTA is really the only consistent series that has a lifespan per game longer than the console generations that they come out on.
Oh yeah,
Like-
yes, yeah.
Like,
It's true.
GTA 5 is already like 2 console
Consoles removed.
long.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
And it
so-
still makes them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. It's ludicrous. Like, they release the game and then they release the online version like 4 or 5 years later, and then people are like, I'm in. And then, like, and the people that love these games, they make Madden fans look like Johnny come latelys. Like, these guys are tried and true in all of their things. And so much so that they got people to be like, oh, I love Grand Theft Auto. I'm going to love a horsey game where I'm in a cowboy. And they got all those people to convert over. These people wanted to fly jets and race cars and do gangster shit. And they got them to buy a Wild West game. So
they're Back to the Future, baby. They got it all.
So they're doing something right. But yeah, I do not doubt that this game is going to be huge, whether or not it releases on PC in 2025 or 2026. People will still buy it. And then at 2030, when they release the GTA 6 online, people are going to shell out for subs to that too. So I don't think Take-Two has anything to worry about.
Yeah, like I think Take-Two is, and the Grand Theft Auto franchise is big enough that if there was going to be another entry into the console space, that Take-Two could drop a console and say, GTA is exclusive on our console only.
Oh, yeah.
And they would instantly shoot to number 2 in console sales.
That's like Take-Two knows what they have in Rockstar, and that's why that's their primary vector for income. Like, Take-Two has a lot of shit on the sides, but their Rockstar stuff, it's always huge, epic, and people like. This is the game that people would still camp out for if it was going to be only released on disc.
Yep.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
All right, last story.
All right, Nintendo details plans to meet demand for Switch 2. I don't think they're going to do it.
All right, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Selden's hot take.
Like, I personally think that it's going to go one of two ways. It's going to be the Wii U, and nobody's going to buy this shit, or it's going to go the way of the original Switch, and they're not going to have anywhere close to the ability to stay up to keeping units on shelves. They're going to be gone.
Like, I had no problems getting Switches until the people in the pandemic wanted them, but pre-pandemic, like, Switches were not hard to come by, if you think about it.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe. But there was still definitely an eBay market that was going on them for a while.
Oh, absolutely. Especially at the start of 2020 when everyone wanted to play not Farmville. What the fuck's it called? I'm drawing a blank.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Yes. That was the big pandemic game. And that's when Switch prices went through the roof. And then, but yeah, as long as the Nintendo factory right now is like ching, 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 and they're making these now before the release, I would assume there should be plenty, especially at this time where, like, I hear from people that there's a recession and people have less money, and this is what I hear.
But Nintendo always plays it a little close to the purse strings, if you want.
Yeah, they do.
Like even the comment that they were quoted on is, and let me see if I can get this right. I'm probably gonna mispronounce his name, but as of now, we are taking the risk and proceeding with production to meet as large a demand as possible, says Furukawa.
That was pretty.
As was true with the Switch, we believe it will not be easily to rapidly increase production capacity. So based on our prior experience, we are making preparations to respond as quickly as possible. So it really does sound like they're trying to really get the metrics in to make just enough, but not excess.
See, that's always been the Nintendo thing, but I feel like when I read that sentence, I felt like their thing was, let's build more than we need to be able to stretch to the demand that we're going to have. I guess time will tell. Once this thing comes out, we'll see right away if there's an eBay market for these, or if there's just plenty and people can go on Amazon and be like, oh, I'll buy one. Or D. Smooth Nolan, he buys two. Not going to use
keep
them.
an eye on Shadow's eBay account.
Yes. See how many he's turning around, turn and burn. So yeah, no.
Plus, with yeah. I was gonna say, who knows with the future economy of the United States, like with possible tariffs that are coming on, if that's going to slow shit down, and
if it's going to increase prices,
or if it's going to increase prices, or who knows if they're going to hold a ship at port.
Yeah,
who knows what the fuck's going to happen? So
yeah. Right now, there's the 10% tariffs on Chinese imports, and that'll definitely affect iPhones. It'll affect your bullshit fake phones. It'll certainly affect. I'm sure that some of this shit is manufactured in China. I don't think in Japan they're cranking out all of these switches. So there's got to be something coming out of China for this. So there's going to be a little tariff tax on that. So yeah, we'll see.
Who knows?
Time will tell.
But yeah, it's who knows? I mean, yeah, the whole scalper world. I really think that we're going to have a scalper problem with it again. If there's any kind of demand on these things and they're starting to get short sold, I think we're going to see these units. If they're listing for $450 or whatever they're going to be listed at, I think we're going to see at least $150 markup over top of that. So
yeah, I'm only buying one on day one. That's how we started with the Switch, and we'll see what happens. But yeah.
Until there's that game that you need two Switches.
Exactly. That's what causes all the problems, Selden. So hopefully there's no good game, and then we can just have our one. So, yeah. That sounds so weird to say, but yes.
To stay on the Switch, I am excited seeing the reports that the Switch controllers can be used as a mouse. So you can still use... Yep. I'm like, that's actually kind of an innovative little console thing. So we'll see how well that works and if it works at all. So,
no. Exciting times ahead. All right. Well, if any of you have stories you want us to talk about, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread on the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors. If we had them, we'd pimp them, but we don't, so we won't. But if you want to sponsor the show, the smallest little, auto repair shop in Wichita, Kansas, doesn't matter. Give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com, and we'll negotiate down to your level. We don't mind pimping your shit. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/tool2play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/tool2play. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/tool2play. That is where you can find our full archive of video content. It is like on demand to the nth degree. This show, Tiff's immature interviews, Hits Quick Hits, Thick and Thin with LB and Duty, Selden had a show back in the day. All those are on there. So definitely go to our YouTube channel and dig deep in the archives and see what you find, because you may find something interesting. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. We need some 5-star reviews. There's also some other fake places where people get podcasts. Spotify, give us 5 spots. Amazon, give us 5 A's. Android, give us 5 Androidiots. Whatever you want to do, just go to your local go to your local podcast place and give us some stars and write something nice about us. We also have a Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/still_got_game. That's one of the many places we broadcast live each and every week. So go there and follow us. We have a Discord channel. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. That's discord.me/stillgotgame, no spaces. You can chat with all of the hosts of this show, other fans of the show. Sometimes, like, randos just drop in and they're like, hey, what's this all about? And then we talk to them too. But yeah, definitely go there, discord.me/stillgotgame, and join us and join the discussion. Selden, you have anything you want to pimp this week?
You can find me and all my links at the Linktree site. Just search up Selden 007 on Linktree. That's link.tr/ee/Selden-007.
There's so many dots and dashes.
Yeah, just find me at Linktree /Selden-007. We'll get all the links that you need there. Other than that, no, it's just, February is packed full of different causes and stuff like that. A lot of health related issues, heart attack, cancer, I don't even know what, mental health issues. Everybody's fucked up right now, so choose the charity of your choice is the question, is what you should be doing. Something that means something to you, and try to give back if you can, if you're able to. If not, if you're on the other end of it and you're and you're hurting or something like that, reach out to a buddy, reach out to somebody that can help you out.
Reach out to podcast@tooltoplay.com.
Yeah, find us on Discord, man. I'll sit there, I'll chat one-on-one with you if you need to. Work through some issues. You might not like what you hear, but I'm going to be there for you. I'll be there to support you.
Yeah, look at Selden. Selden's he's
a
hero. Not all heroes wear capes.
I was a psychiatrist in a high school play back in the day, and I can probably pull something off, but it's not going to be official.
Not all heroes wear capes, Selden. Yes.
No, other than that, no, that's pretty much all I got. Yeah, definitely. What about you, Derek? What do you got going on?
Well, you can find all of my shit at Linktree/Derek Nolan. That's linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. That's the correct URL format.
No, that's not real.
All of my shit and all the show shit is on there. I will still go back to the LA wildfires. Like, there's so much shit reeling out in LA still, and people don't have homes. And now there's like a secondary market where people are trying to rent homes when they're trying to rebuild and take care of where they used to live. And not all these, like we mentioned last week, not all these people have a shitload of money. There's plenty of poor folks in the LA area too that were barely getting by, and they're fucked now. So and this secondary market is jacking up prices and screwing these guys over. So if you get a few extra bucks, take care of the folks out in LA. Take care of the folks down in the Carolinas that are still rebuilding there. If you watch the news, if you read the news, you know that all kinds of shit is going nuts on this planet. Whether you believe it or not, there's some climate issues happening that are causing lots of issues, and these people are being, outed from their homes left and right, whether it's fucking torrential rain, whether it's flooding, whether it's fires. It doesn't matter. All these people need help. So reach out and do something good with your spare change, because not everybody's as fortunate as you, and if you're the one that's not as fortunate, let us know. Podcast@toolplay.com. We'll try to help you out. So all right. On that, I want to remind you, you can join us each and every Monday night, except for next Monday because it's a holiday, live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/tooltoplay, facebook.com/tooltoplay, twitch.tv/still_got_game, and kick.com/stillgotgame. And on that, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden 007 Selden.
And he is Shadow the COVID Kid. And we will see you all in 2 weeks. Peace.